even know what it is that I do. But they've graduated. They've passed. Could it be that we are focusing too much on numeracy and literacy, forgetting all the soft skills which are actually needed in the world of work? The way you dress, the way you present yourself, the way you speak, your confidence, your eye contact, truthfulness, honesty, sense of timekeeping, sense of urgency, courtesy. All those things are probably because it's not examinable, we don't pay attention to it. Work out the pie chart, work out the calculus model, work out the fractions, work out the this. But the guy turns up at Joy FM, and we don't care whether you can work out fractions or not. How do you look? How do you speak? How do you relate to people? That's what we want. So maybe going back onto the drawing board in terms of reducing these numbers, we should probably try do career guidance and so where the real opportunities are. And the world is now moving and moving and moving. And so very soon many jobs will be extinct. Many jobs are going to be extinct. And so if now where there are manual work and all these things which we live by today, we can't get work, what if we all move into this AI territory and everything? Then probably, half the country is going to be unemployed. Half the country is going to be unemployed. Look, very soon, there'll be no need for mechanics. Very soon. All cars are going to be electric. Probably all you need to do is change your tires. Folks, all you need to do is change your tires. You charge the car up and you're gone. No filter, no plugs, no contact set, nothing. Nothing. You're gone. Gone. Just go. 100,000, 200,000 kilometers. You change your battery, you're going. A year down the line, you change your tires, you're going. You don't need mechanics anymore. So where are we positioning our youth for all these changes that are coming at blistering speed? If we can't even get them to Google to find out what it is that a company does before you even apply to work for them. So you see, on one side, there's so many unemployed, but then on the other side, how many of them are even equipped or employable? It's a very, very serious issue that we have to look into. Because the numbers are growing and it is absolutely not sustainable. It is not sustainable and it is not acceptable either, because I don't think it's rocket science, as they say it. I don't think it's rocket science. For a country that is consuming so much and developing so much, we should be employing labor and not have people in the country who are wearing Obroni Wewu clothes instead of ones that are sewn here, drinking juice from cartons that came from, somewhere, instead of when we have all the mangoes in Somenya, and yet we still have carton drinks of mangoes coming from somewhere. The balance. So folks, today, that's my concern. That's my real concern. I don't know what, and probably we are to blame, because we are the ones who are bringing this new generation up. What it is at all are we imbibing in them for them to bring in so little output? What are the schools doing to bring us so little output? And the average child now does not think beyond 3 minutes. So we are sat down, and then you see a bunch of adults coming, and as soon as they finish greeting, they would sit. And that there are no seats available. You have to get one from the somewhere. Just what I say, and it's like the modern day child, everything, the same thing every day. I also have friends you see here. The next morning, I also have friends you see here. The next day, also, and you know, because if you see anyway, friends you. I'm thinking, hey, but these are children that are in SS, these are children that are in tertiary. So how can you be giving this simple instruction every day? Hey, when the customer comes, write a name, take a phone number, and then you come. Did you get a customer? Yes. Did you get the name? Yes. Did you get a number? No. Why? Not sure. The following day you come, a customer come. Did you take a name? Yes. Did you take a number? No. It's like every day. So there must be, there's a missing link somewhere that I think collectively we should find and solve, so that these children, because eventually when we get old, they are the ones to look after us. The way it's going, when we get old, we'll probably have to still be looking after them. You know what is 0302 216 541? 0302 216 541. Says Nana, not to digress. I entered the real estate market in 2019 and decided not to charge rent in advance. I gave a 3-bedroom apartment to this youth for 1,000 paid monthly. I regretted giving out my property to him. I sell, and you already know that I offer some credit facilities. It is something I wanted to help the Ghanaian with. I have decided to stop. We are quick to call our politicians thieves and inept. Not as government too. If only it will reduce taxes and create an enabling environment for private businesses to thrive. We are on a dangerous path. Looking at the numbers, looking for job now. Hello, who's talking to me?
Hi, Nana, it's Christian.
Christian, let me hear you.
Yes, Nana, you've heard the name right. But there's something that we look at on the coin. There's some people looking for job, or the youth looking for job. It not necessarily mean that they are slaves. So if you recruit them or you employ them and you don't pay them right, they won't give you the required output. That's one. And two, our universities are now not producing good products. If you check the university, I'm surprised to know a university and somebody wants to do classes at the university. University that's supposed to be a research center. You find students having gaps to the point that they have to resort to TA and pay money for TA to teach them. What kind of university is this? They are taking extra classes from KG to secondary school and now to the university. What kind of product can we have? That's what I'm talking about. So the gap which must be filled, it cut across. All of us are supposed to be blamed because now we are not paying attention to quality. We are just looking out for money. That's my opinion.
Thank you very much. Hello, who's talking to me?
Hello, my name is Kobna.
Kobna, let me hear you.
Hello, Nana.
Yeah.
I think your concerns are genuine. And that's the reason why the standard of living is very low in Ghana. You know? And it tells you the health of the Ghanaian economy. The majority are not working. The few that are working are not producing enough to be shared among all of us. You know? So the living condition is very low. Now, Nana, in other jurisdictions where there are jobs, many jobs, like the United States, now the economy is booming in the United States. So anywhere I go, they say, we need assistance, we need help. So in that case, the employer really is in need of hands. So they will do whatever it takes to prepare the individual for work. You
Okay.
know, understand that you have been a little bit hard on the Ghanaian youth. You know, you have to understand that human capital is an indicator of the health of the country, right? It's a economic indicator, and microeconomics should be the preserve of the state. You know, you cannot blame the youth for that. You need policies that would help prepare the youth for work. Now, if the government is not doing that, why do you want to blame the poor youth or the poor family where the family system has broken down? The socio-economic conditions in most Ghanaian cities are not good. You know? So I understand your concern, but it should be a collective effort of everybody: the community, the church, the school system, Accra, the Jubilee House, and everybody. So,
Governor, I agree with you. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That I mean, it's our fault because since we are the older ones, it's what we put in the youth is what they are producing. So I agree with you. I mean, it's what we are giving the youth. That's what they are bringing out. If the child has gone through school, and at no time in his school was he thought or prompted that listen, to get a job in company A, read about it, research about it, find out what they do, then he thinks it's business as usual. Hello, who's talking to me?
I'm Kwame.
Kwame, let me hear you.
Our education system is more of academic. People want to pass exams, extra classes, and all those things. So people just want certificate or a paper to show that they've been to school. Now, there's too much dishonesty in the system because the last time Joy FM Friday had a program about lying to get a visa, and most people who call in justify lying to get a visa. Now, we must also not get the impression that foreigners are more honest than Ghanaians. I worked in Liberia for 10 years, and I can tell you, Indians stole from Indians. Lebanese stole from Lebanese when they were giving charge of shops. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you too. 0302216541. We are looking at how it is we can equip the younger ones today for the world of work. Hello, who's talking to me?
Yeah, Nana. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I want to believe what you are saying to some extent is right. You have a lot of students who have graduated with a Bachelor of Business Administration, Bachelor of Science in Accounting also. And we can tell you for a fact, I work in an organization. I had a national service personnel. She was bold to tell me that he doesn't know Excel. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
You, an accounting student, you are telling me, I want you to do a spreadsheet for me, just that you cannot do, not even talk of formula work. So such a person, how do you occupy him in your establishment? I always tell people that, look, right from school at level 400, even as a business accounting student, you should look for a specialization. If it's taxation, try and learn on it well. Not only what the university is giving you. We have computer schools around town, SAP. In accounting, there's always a software that an organization is using. So you come out from university and you are telling me that none of the software that an organizations are using, then how can you be taken upon? Of course, everybody, whatever it is, some jobs are for beginners, but not necessarily beginners to the extent that you have not worked or you don't have hands-on computer. They cannot pick you up. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much too. 0302216541. Hello, who's talking to me?
Yes, my name is Kofi. I'm speaking from Tewa.
Kofi, let me hear you.
Yes, sir. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
The kind of graduates we are producing now is not good. Seriously. And you don't blame the graduates. You blame the universities. For instance, my course that I studied, social sciences.
Mm-hmm.
Or who will employ a social scientist now in Ghana? Seriously. You have the humanities, you have the arts and our visual arts and whatever. Who would employ? Come on. Do you understand it? There must be a serious and total overhaul of our university degrees. Seriously. Especially our public universities. Central University is offering banking and other courses, and most of their graduates are employed. But with our traditional, our Legon, UST, KCOS, actually KCOS is producing teachers, Legon, maybe UST, some engineers and things, but the majority of students, the millions of students passing out each year, my brother, they are not equipped for the job market. Seriously, we need a revolution in the educational system. And my brother, I'll support you if you embark on something like that. Seriously.
Well, thank you very much for calling. But I spoke to a couple of university lecturers who are also saying that the products coming out from SS now, you'll be shocked. So most of them are saying that, instead of going straight into university work, they sometimes have to like go back and recap some, how to form, construct sentences, something basic things that the university is expecting the SS students to know. They come there completely empty. So university says, products number de brand and so so that's the problem. We need to fix it anyway because we are all at risk. 0302 216 541. We're talking about the scarcity of jobs and the numbers chasing the scarce jobs. But we're saying that those who have been fortunate to get a job are not giving their best. Considering the numbers outside that are look, I don't know. I get confused because you would have thought that they would put in their best. Somebody's saying, well, if you don't pay them well, they won't work well. If you don't give them the tools, they're not going to also give you their best. Hello, who's talking to me?
Nana, this coming again. I didn't complete my submission.
Oh, come on, let me hear.
So like you were saying, like I told you, human capital is one of the indicators of the health of the Ghanaian economy or the health of any economy, and that's the reason why these multinational companies are sending their jobs to Southeast Asia, right? Because they are prepared. Like you said, most of them have hands-on skill job, right? So, and that didn't fall from heaven. It took labor policies for these citizens to be equipped with the skills for foreign companies to move their companies or ship or move some aspects of their production to Southeast Asian countries. What are we doing in Ghana? Where are the policies to equip the youth? You're always blaming the youth, but the youth needs to be trained. Government will have to allocate money for training in our schools. Now, the IMF says outcomes that we are getting from pre-efficacy is low. It's low. Like I said, we are learning just to pass the West African examination, but we are not putting in enough resources, right, to equip the students in other areas, soft skills and all that. So we have to blame the Jubilee House. And anytime I say that, you don't really seem to agree with me. But you have to blame the Jubilee House. And whoever wants to occupy the Jubilee House, we need to question them. This is the time we need to be strong, because we cannot allow these things to continue. We cannot be talking about this. We've been talking about this for the past many years. And we need to get the basics right.
I agree with you, Governor. I have to agree with you on that. 0302216541. Hello, who's talking to me?
Hello, Nana.
Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for the program.
You're welcome.
You see, Nana, it's a great topic you are discussing, but for years now, people have been blaming the universities, blaming the students, and all that. The thing is a chain. The root cause is that we live in a society of low exposure. As you grow up, the things you watch on television, they are not scientific. They are not exposing enough. Businesses don't talk about themselves enough. In business school, the people you read about are mostly in America. The cases are in America. You say you are doing petroleum engineering. You've not seen a rig before. There's no programs on your television that you can identify with. In the U.S., there are soap operas. The children are growing up, they are watching programs about young Sheldon, about physics, chemistry, mathematical programs. Over here, there's nothing like that. Meanwhile, you are 15. There's so much you can learn. But who is going to expose you to it? Now, you finish SHS at 16, 17, and you go into a university. The lecturer says he's a PhD holder. He has done things in math, he has done things in chemistry, physics, social science. By the way, I heard one of your colleagues saying that what does a social science person do? Social science people are the people who are supposed to be doing policy analysis and giving suggestions to government.
You're saying that who would hire them?
Yeah, who would hire? Yes.
Yeah.
No, he was saying that when you finish social science, who will hire you?
Yeah, exactly.
The policy analysis institutes all over the place hire them. The research institutions hire them. But let me continue with the point. The point is that when a child steps in a university classroom, he is green. You, the lecturer, standing in front of this child, is supposed to become a handler, a molder, a transformer, pumping and exposing this child into various things. By the time this child graduates from the university at age 21, 22, he should know something. He should learn something. He should know that if I do chemistry, I'm not just going to be a teacher. I can become a chemist. I can manufacture biologics for hospitals. I can do this for several organizations. By the time I finish civil engineering, I'm not just going to be someone doing pongpo on the construction site. No. I should be able to set up a construction company and solve the myriad of problems we are having with all these gutters and all these things. We are so good at trying to complain about our problems. We should know that it is us. When you are a lecturer and a child steps into your classroom, your job is not just to stand in front of the whiteboard and start writing on the board or referring the child to notes. You are the custodian of the future of Ghana. Begin to expose these children to what is possible, the mind that is out there, the opportunities out there. You read the news about a vessel sinking in the Suez Canal, and there are engineers solving that problem. You, the lecturer, when you came to class, did you mention it to the children? Did you tell them to go and read about it? Did you tell them to go and watch YouTube videos about it? But 4 years from then, when they graduate after congregation and they do national service, and then someone calls you and says, "Oh, these children are not performing," you say, "They are not bad. They are bad. They are bad from SHS." It is you, the lecturer, you, the university. What level of exposure are you giving to these children? No, it's a long story, but I'll end here for the meantime.
And I appreciate you so much for taking time to listen and even taking further time to call 0302-216-541. This is as an issue that probably come to the round table and just pay attention to. I think we've done okay with numeracy and literacy. Now the soft skills, the character, and the form that the student should have. Hello, who is talking to me?
Hello, Nana. This is Prince. I'm calling from Accra.
Let me hear you, my brother.
Yeah. The fundamental problem, like the speaker who just ended the call actually said, I think the problem that we have on a part of the world is trying to assign blame and not accepting blame. So we always look at the political leadership alone, and then we leave ourselves out. Mm-hmm. If you go to the universities, let me give you a practical example. Myself, I happen to be a part-time lecturer with 2 universities. One of them that happens to be my mother university, where I had my degree. One head of department actually recognized the fact that they are training students in banking and needed to set up a course in banking for them to get a practical knowledge so that when they are come into the market, they will be able to fit properly. When he did that, he contacted through Bankers Association, and then I got selected. I helped build the course. We produced material and everything, and started giving them what the system is required as far as the banking sector is concerned. Now, fast forward, this man moves to another level. The one who takes over now says that no, there's no need to bring in an external person, which I know our days at our UCC. If you are doing become level 400, almost all the lecturers were coming from the industry. So in terms of the knowledge that people are acquiring at level 400, we get the practical feel of whatever that is happening. This time around, the politics at the university is not allowing that to happen. So now, all that we're trying to teach them, the practical knowledge, now the one taking over is not someone who has also been in the industry to even appreciate how things work in the industry. So in that sense, you are going to come out with products and then you come and blame it on them coming from SS, because from SS they came in, their products. 4 years with you is more than the 3 years at the secondary school. So at that higher level, what are you doing? And most of our universities, what we do is that you see even a master program, someone doing a master program that we expect to have case studies being the way of assessing them for them to actually be able to understand problems and know how to solve them. You go there, and at the master level, you see even MBA class, and people are doing multiple choices. So they just read something small, and then they come in, they write the examination, they pass, they come out, and you see they've not acquired anything. I remember one other university I was teaching with them. They gave me a course, and then I decided to introduce some practical things, because you are teaching something on treasury management. You have to also introduce them to all the new regulations and the requirements so that a treasurer will be a modern treasurer. Can you imagine that just within 1 year, because the other person who introduced the course was becoming unpopular like a way, that person just decided to reintroduce another course and then even ended that course just within 1 academic year.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So we agree on one thing. The youth are not equipped enough. What we are disagreeing on is how it is they ended up like that. How it is they ended up like that. Bad parenting, bad teachers, bad mosques, bad churches. These children have gone through all these groups of people and still ended up turning up late for interview. Well, on the downside of life, Colonel H.L. Ofosu Apia retired. This Thursday, 1st of June, filing passed in funeral service, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., Christ Presbyterian Church, Ekropong, Ekuapem. Attire is black. Friday, 2nd June, filing pass is 6:30 a.m. to 6:45. Military funeral service will start at 9 a.m. Location, Garrison Methodist Presby Church, Burma Cup. Funeral rite to be at the Arakan Officers Mess on the same day. Sunday, 4th of June, Memorial and Thanksgiving service at Ekropong Christ Presbyterian Church. And then Monday, the usual family funeral will be held at his residence as Ekropong. My uncle who made me Ansah Kwao. Very sad funeral for me indeed. The eloquent Fosti is lined up to give you your bulletin. Hayford has also lined up some proper tunes while we think of how it is to shape the minds of the youth. Abeku Sankofi was on the ones and twos. I am Nana Ansah Kwao. I say until the lions have their own historians, tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. Frosty is up next.